Hello and welcome to the June 9th episode of This Week in Esports. We are coming to you live once again from the Microsoft campus here in Redmond, Washington, and we are showcasing some Mixer magic. I'm Ricari Austin, and filling in for Kate Yeager once again is my co-host, Mary Kate Ives. How you doing today?
Pretty spiffy, can't complain. Getting
Spiffy,
excited
huh?
for E3. Oh yeah, the spiffiest.
That's
MK
the
the
only
spiffiest.
word that you can use to describe what the madness
BRB
that's pre-E3.
rebranding. Yeah.
So we're getting ready to jump into some streams here, and you guys have done this once before, but MK, why don't you tell us a little bit about what this stream is and what's enabled that makes it unique?
So one of my favorite things about Mixer is that we have this special FTL, faster than light protocol, which is a sub-second latency. Basically, we are streaming almost in real time, and the lag time between us and the chat is almost non-existent.
So really what's going on here is people are actively participating in what's happening with us, yes?
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
correct.
Because we're basically streaming in real time, you guys get to vote on what we're going to talk about.
Nowadays, there is a lot to cover in the esports scene, and we've heard us say this before. Since this show is for you, you get to decide what we talk about via the voting options that you'll see soon above the chat window.
That's right. We don't choose the topics we discuss. You'll be doing that for us.
We've only got 30 minutes each and every week, so make sure to get your vote in if you want to hear your favorite esport discussed.
Before we get into the segments that we have for this week, we're going to start this show and every show with a little treat we like to call Clip of the Week.
Now, while we're watching this clip, make sure to get your vote in so we know what to discuss after the Clip of the Week segment.
Oh, yeah.
But we're ready to go.
All right. This week's clip comes from FIFA, and a question for all of you. Have you ever seen someone do one single thing to win themselves over $150,000? Well, you're in luck because that's what's about to happen here.
Now, only certain things could, lead into $150,000. Not many of them are very much legal, but this one is, yes.
or happy either,
That's true.
Yeah.
So we're at the FIFA Ultimate Team Championship Final, and finalists Rocky and Shells have made it to the Grand Finals. The score is tied 4-4, and an offside penalty was just awarded.
Oh, player Rocky has the ball. Watch him win more than $150,000 with that one goal. Look at that.
I want to talk about the other side of the screen there. There's Rocky jumping for joy, and then there's
you're
somebody
just like,
realizing they don't have $150,000.
Like it was right there.
It's right there.
Could reach out
It's
and
right
touch
there.
it. Heartbreak.
That
Heartbreak
is a wonderful
City.
clip to see, though. Somebody's very, very, very happy leaving that
Exciting
tournament.
times in esports, man.
All right, well, you have voted, and your options were
right.
Smash Brothers, Gears of War, FIFA, and Pokemon.
What do we got?
No
Gears of
way.
War and Pokemon tied. So we are going to go ahead and go with...
Gears.
All right. So the Gears of War Pro Circuit continued last weekend in Vegas.
There were 16 teams competing in 4 pools for a $300,000 prize pool.
7/8 Epsilon Esports, they spell it lower E, not us, and Team Allegiance.
5th and 6th place were Splice and World Best Gaming.
4th place Echo Fox took home $24,000.
Coming in 3rd place was Ghost Gaming, who got $40,000 of their own.
The finals came down to Team Envious versus Optic Gaming in a best-of-3 matches.
Now, the first match was a 1-7, and it got close as Optic took the first 4 rounds, but Envious snuck in one of their own to keep it from being a shutout.
Optic then continued their reign and claimed another 2 rounds, keeping them 1 point away from winning the first match.
Envious held strong and won 3 consecutive rounds, bringing the score to 4-6.
King Optic was able to pull through, however, and claim the first match with the next round win.
So then going into Game 2, it seemed Envious lost all of their mojo. Optic Gaming won the first 6 rounds, leaving them 1 round away from being the Season 1 champs.
Envious not wanting to shut out, they clutched it to win their first round in Match 2, bringing the score to 6-1.
Now, Optic finished up that final round with a win and therefore sealed their place as Gears Pro Circuit Season 1 champions. I've heard that name Optic in there many times before.
Oh, yeah, just a little bit. Man, those boys crushing it these days. Team Envious took home $60,000 with their 2nd place win, while Optic Gaming finished 1st place with $120,000 and the championship title.
Well done to the victors of the first season of the Gears Pro Circuit.
If all that Gears of War action over the weekend left you wanting more, fear not. The Coalition announced that the $1 million Pro Circuit will be returning next year.
The program has been well executed, and we're glad to see them have the success that they've had all year. Head over to gears.gg to hear all about that and more competitive Gears action. You wanted there to be a slash right there,
Oh,
right?
I know. I was like
whack.
waiting for
Oh,
a slash, waiting for a whack. We got into that. Josh Stein and I got into that earlier today during the Mixer Level Upcast. He's apparently on Team Whack.
Team Whack.
Like,
Team Whack. Team Whack.
I had never heard of Whack until literally last week when we were sitting here fighting about it.
Oh, you learn something new every day. Consider yourself enlightened. All right, so you got your votes in. Polls are down, actually, so we're going to go to Smash Brothers since we had that tie. So let's go ahead and do this.
We had that tie. We'll give Smash their due. Wizard Word Gaming had their Philadelphia event last weekend where almost 100 entrants battled to be the champion of their Super Smash Bros. Event.
The event being essentially a comic convention, there were many other events happening during the weekend, also like Tekken and Street Fighter V.
With a prize pool of $2,000, you bet the attendees were looking to battle.
After intense tournament action where players were split into 4 pools, the top 2 players from each pool emerged victorious.
Congratulations to Bonk, Luck, Joshathan, Aurelius, Githero, Drew BRZ, Jackal, and SSB Matt.
With the first round of the top 8, SSB Matt was taken out by Jackal, and Jackal proceeded, winning every match to move on to the finals.
It's crazy. SSB Matt took on vengeance and fought his way from that first round loss all the way through the loser final to face off against Jackal once more in the grand finals.
Jackal used Sonic, and SSB Matt challenged him with Samus to fight in the best of 5 final.
However, Jackal was taking names all weekend long and took 3 straight wins to clinch the victory.
Jackal had a very impressive tournament, as over the tournament run, he did not lose one single time. Went all weekend and 0 losses.
Insanity. As Kiefer Bryant would say, snapping necks and cashing checks.
I'm surprised we were able to say a Kiefer Bryant quote. That's amazing.
Man, I know, right? Fit it in somewhere. Jackal took home $800 while SSB Matt took home $400.
Now, Wizard World Gaming isn't done yet for the year, and there'll be even more events coming up on the horizon. We encourage you to check out their website, which also does not have a whack or a slash, wizardworld.com, for more information, and follow their Twitter account, Wizard World Games.
Something tells me that our writers are trying not to let us fight about this whack versus slash thing.
Oh, it's going to happen.
So tell us in chat, are you team whack or team slash?
All right, well, we're going to jump on into FIFA next. I'm excited for this one, especially with FIFA 18 coming around the corner.
All right, so in our debut episode and last week, we talked about Madden and their championships that was voted, and now we're tackling football again, but pronounced football, talking about FIFA 17 Ultimate Team Championship Series.
The EA Sports FIFA Ultimate Team Championship Series, which comprised of 2 seasons and debuted in November of last year, went in search of the best FIFA 17 players in the world. Over 6 million people ended up playing the championships for this program.
Starting with the online qualifiers, players ended up competing in a variety of online and offline tournaments where the highest ranked players and winners were rewarded for their skill with a chance to be invited to their regional finals.
Now, these regional finals narrowed down the field of 192 of the world's best footballers, where these regionals were played out over the course of 4 months in 5 world-renowned cities. Paris, Sydney, Miami, Vancouver, and Madrid. I feel like we just need to go visit all of these places to be a part of the action.
You know, in order to better talk about the esports happening in these cities, clearly we need to experience them.
It's quite the world tour you're on just for playing some FIFA on your couch.
We have to highlight some of the players who came out on top of these events and won first place despite the tough competition. Principi, Guastella, MS Dossery 7, #Tass, and Raffia.
Funny that these are all the same names who appeared at the top of the crop at the eventual final event. Well, maybe not. It was broadcast to numerous TV channels like ESPN, BT Sport, Movistar, and MTG, to name a few. Proof that competitive gaming is gaining more exposure around the world.
Fighting for their share of a $400,000 prize pool, the Europeans dominated after day 1 of the group stages, with a total of 13 natives advancing to the next stage, the knockout round.
Now, remember those players we gave a shout out to for winning regional titles? Well, most surprisingly, in a testament to the tough competition, these previous winners, like the Royal, Mr. Dunn, and MS Dossery 7, were eliminated in the groups and failed to move on to the knockout round.
The knockout round, which advanced eight players from each of the Xbox and PlayStation divisions, was a double elimination bracket tournament. 2 losses and you went home.
The winners of the Xbox and PlayStation brackets would eventually meet in the grand finals, where competitors had to play a game of FIFA 17 on each console and score more overall goals than the other. Quite a fun way to end things.
Earning the right to represent Xbox, competitor Vitality Rocky beat out Gorilla in a close match, while competitor Shells gained his right to represent PlayStation by defeating Timox.
The final match, which we won't recap too much because it should be watched on the EA Sports FIFA YouTube channel, went down to the final minute as players were tied 4-4, but thanks to some superb play from Rocky, he scored to bring the score to 5-4 and net himself $160,000. I feel like we saw that.
Clip of the week,
True.
Clip of the week. We're loving that EA Competitive Gaming is racing full speed ahead with their Madden and FIFA franchises. I can't wait for the next game in their portfolio to be involved with competitive gaming.
Be sure to stay tuned to This Week in Esports and FUTChampions.com for more competitive FIFA news.
There's keeping.
You see that sadness, the sadness
We got to get those slashes. Give us slashes. Before we move on to our next segment, we have to highlight that the FIFA competitive action didn't end in Berlin. Top players from the Ultimate Team Championship Series go on to compete through August in the FIFA Interactive World Cup. And more information on that can be found at FIFA.com/Interactive World Cup. Get destroyed.
I can't believe that happened.
Get destroyed.
Something happened. You guys over here made that happen. Just made me look like a fool. All right, well, here we go. We're going to go on to Pokemon now. You ready to talk about this? I'm ready to jump in. It's like it's taking me back to my childhood just a bit here.
Snorlax.
I'm not surprised, Ed. I'm not surprised at all. The Madison Regional Championships for Pokemon occurred over the weekend in Madison, Wisconsin.
Ooh.
After the International Championships, the regionals are the largest events in Pokemon competition.
Typically, one happens every weekend around the world to give players more chances to compete.
Seattle's occurred a couple of weeks ago, and last weekend, Pokemon landed in Madison, Wisconsin.
All regionals have over $50,000 in prize money, provided scholarships and even travel certificates, so they're quite the competition to get ready for.
The event had regional tournaments for both the trading card game and the long-standing video game.
Andrew Novak became the 3-time regional champion after his battle against Zheyun Huang Ken. Man, sorry. Names are tricky, man.
Yeah, you just give me the slashes, and then we'll just work.
Oh,
on that.
okay,
we'll
okay, all right.
So Andrew stunned everyone with a risky Z move immediately at the start, using Formosa's Pummel to target Ken's Kartana.
After accurately predicting Ken's Kartana not switching out, Andrew hit it dead on and sealed the match from there.
Formosa is definitely a Pokemon to keep in mind, as it has been looked over in competitive play by most players.
As for TCG, a trading card game of the tournament, it came down to Christopher Schmensky versus Michael Pramawat.
Each player won a round initially, but the final round is where things got very, very interesting.
Christopher held strong with his double Metagross GX combo, while Pramawat seemed to be struggling, losing his Flareon while his last Eevee just lay.
His only hope seemed to be in his discard-powered Pokemon, Vespiquen.
With just 8 minutes left, Christopher played a Karn Trainer card, effectively sending both players' discard pile into their decks, rendering Pramawat's Vespiquen useless.
With just 40 seconds left in the match, Pramawat powered up his Vespiquen enough to take down one of the Metagross GXs and get 2 additional prize cards, gaining the lead.
Once time was called, each player had 2 turns left. Christopher, realizing he didn't have the resources to win, he forfeited the match, making Pramawat the regional champ.
We also have to touch on the Birmingham Regional Championship, which had their regional competition occur at the exact same time.
The finals came down to players Rachel Anad and Lucas Mueller, who battled it out with Rachel going home the victor.
Competitive Pokemon is actually a pretty entertaining game, and I'm sure most of us have memories battling our friends in the original Game Boy with the faux crossover cable. I had a real one. It was good times, though. It was good times.
You're like, I was legit.
Yeah, I was legit.
Yeah. Also, if that wasn't enough, Pokemon Direct announced Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for the 3DS coming in November.
Meaning we'll most likely see a shift in the game of choice for tournaments coming January of next year, similar to the shift from Omega Ruby / Alpha Sapphire, see how I did that, to Sun and Moon. Keep it locked to Pokemon.com for more news, or come back here, of course, for our next episode where we do a preview or recap segment on the next event.
Look at you making nice with the slash.
Well, it wasn't in the URL, where it then becomes a whack.
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough.
Hey,
polls are back.
Do you call it an URL?
No, but I do call it a GIF.
So if you say slash, oh, yeah, it is a GIF. It is a GIF.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Finally, we got something there.
All right.
It is a GIF, by the way.
All right.
Everybody drops out of the show. All right, so your voting options were Smite, Tekken 7, Forza, and Rocket League, and we've got
Rocket League. The Rocket League Championship Season 3 Grand Finals wrapped up last weekend in Los Angeles as Northern Gaming took home the grand prize.
Northern Gaming was the 4th seed out of Europe and fought all the way through the lower bracket to reach the final match.
Their competitor was Maka Esports, one of the top-seeded teams in the tournament and somewhat favored to win it all.
Northern Gaming player Devo put on a stunning performance, helping to carry his team to the 4-3 nail-biting win.
Rocket League wrapped up the championship series with the announcement of their anniversary update, which includes a free new arena, new cars, new gyms, and more.
And bonus time.
Bonus time.
In case that wasn't enough Rocket League for you, we recently talked with our Rocket League correspondent and RLCS caster Alex Axeltoss Rodriguez about how the event went down from his point of view. Check it out.
Hey, I'm Axel Toss, and I'm the host for the Rocket League Championship Series. I've been doing hosting from the studio as well as during the live event championships. Our first season went to the Avalon in Hollywood. Our second season finals went to Amsterdam. And our third season finals were at the Wiltern in Los Angeles. Ton of fun hosting Rocket League, and I've dabbled with other esports as well. Got my start with StarCraft, and I just love video games and talking about them and being a part of esports. People should care about the RLCS because it is in an amazing place right now. First of all, it's a very new game. It's very doable to get involved with it right now and potentially see yourself playing in tournaments one day. But it's a ton of fun because it's such a new game. It's so dynamic. And in esports right now, there's a lot of different titles. And Rocket League is one of those newer titles, very new scene. So it can be really fun to get involved with the community, jump in, and start watching the games. This most recent World Championship was just amazing. The entire season was incredible. We had the entire season from the studio as teams all competed to try to emerge into the World Championships. 4 teams from North America, 4 teams from Europe, and 2 teams from the OCE region. Being there at the venue, the emotions from everyone, the players, the casters, the fans. I have not seen a crowd that hyped in esports. And I've been to a lot of esports events, been a part of a lot of shows, and that crowd was just incredible. If you were able to be in the audience there, you'll have stories that you'll remember and you can tell and you will never forget, because that's how hyped that crowd was, getting super loud at all the right moments, true fans of Rocket League. And, you know, from there, the online hype as well was amazing. This has been Axel Toss. Thanks for watching, and I hope you check out the Rocket League Championship Series. I promise it's a ton of fun. It's not too late to get involved, either as a player, as a fan, and watch as the stories unfold, because the scene is truly electric right now, and it's a ton of fun. But again, you can follow me on Twitter at AxelToss. Otherwise, see you next time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, big
Thanks,
thank you to
Axel
Alex
Toss.
for letting us know what's going on in the
Mhm,
RLCS.
mhm.
Now, voting options are there.
Voting. Okay, between Smite, Tekken 7, Forza, Counter-Strike.
Tekken and Forza actually tied, so we're going to jump into Tekken first, and then we'll jump into
All right. So
others later.
switching genres, we now get to talk about a game that recently released on consoles as the next staple from Bandai Namco Entertainment. It's Tekken 7 Fated Retribution.
This game was originally released for arcades only, but it got a console release earlier this month, and fans were eager to fight each other even before the game released stateside.
In order to build up the hype, Combo Breaker 2017 featured a Tekken 7 tournament to give eager players a place to compete and a chance to prove they were the best Tekken 7 player in St. Charles, Illinois.
Combo Breaker 2017, of course, is one of the FGC's premier events, and almost 180 competitors showed up to try their hand at being and beating the best Tekken 7 players around.
The event featured a double elimination bracket with a combination of best of 3 and best of 5 series to find the #1 player.
While there were a variety of upsets during pool play, we have to highlight the Echo Fox team with players JDCR and Saint. Is that CD Jr. or is that JDCR? We'll see. 2 players who battled their way through players like Peeling and Tanukana to make it to the final match.
Saint and JDCR met up 3 times in the top 8 portion of the tournament, the winners final, and 2 back-to-back sets of the grand final.
In the winners final, Saint took JDCR to Game 3, sending JDCR to the losers final to face off against Tanukana.
Luckily for JDCR, he already beat Tanukana in the winners semifinal and took her down again to make it back to face off against Saint.
Congratulations to JDCR for beating Saint not once, but twice with the score of 3-1 and 3-2 respectively.
I'm sure those 2 teammates will be at it again in future Tekken 7 tournaments, and we can't wait to watch.
Check out the VOD of the Tekken 7 tournament by going to twitch.tv whack Team Spooky to view the matches. And speaking of Team Spooky, also make sure to check out their weekly matches called Next Level Battle Circuit every Wednesday, and follow at NYC Next Level on Twitter for more information.
Man, I gotta quit doing finger guns.
You
It's
did.
like-
Shooter McGavin out here?
Like, woo-cha, woo-cha.
All right, we are ready to jump into our next segment. Your voting options were Smite, Street Fighter, BAM 9, Forza, and Counter-Strike.
And we got Smite. Last week, Smite made its debut on the show, and due to how many people voted for it last time, we're back again with another Smite recap for the Norse God fans out there.
Smite, created and published by High Res Studios, in its 4th year with their 2017 season, and they field competitive gaming leagues for the console and also the PC.
Over on the PC side, the Smite Pro League just completed its opening matches for the 3rd week of season play, and we're here to break down all the action for you.
Coming into this week, NA teams Luminosity, Allegiance, and Monkey Madness led the pack with a three-way tie for first, while Team Dignitas sat comfortably in the winner's position for the EU region.
Starting the day with EU region matches, Team The Papists went head-to-head with Team Rival, and the two-game series ended with a score of 1-1.
That was the Poppies' first win this season. Is it the Poppies? Yes.
Yep.
So props to them for taking a game off Rival. I hope it says it there on the teleprompter, and I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. The other EU match of the day pitted the two teams currently at the bottom of the standings, Team Elevate and Burrito Esports, against each other. Oh, Burrito. We talked about
Somebody
this
was
last
cheering
time.
for the Burrito, yeah?
Yeah.
We would love to say that the tasty Burrito Esports players came out warm and on top with cheese. Who let me say that? But Elevate elevated their game to win the series 2-0. It was Lennox, I'm hearing, with cheese.
Hashtag blame Lennox.
Yeah, right?
Be sure to watch the match VOD by going to the schedule section on esports.smitegame.com. The website is easy to navigate and a great repository of Smite game information.
The week's matches aren't done yet, as match play continues tomorrow and Sunday to determine who comes out on top for the week.
Console users, we didn't forget about you, but we did save the best for last. Hint, hint, as we work in an Xbox building over here.
That's right. The Smite Console League did happen to finish their third week of match play already, and the tight competition to make it to DreamHack Valencia.
Oof.
The place for the console and pro finals are getting very competitive every match, every single day.
So similar to the PC League, match scores ended with a 1-1 between Team ERE Eternity and Neventic, and Team Rival took down ENX with a score of 2-0.
The EU teams only have 2 more weeks of competition to secure their spot at DreamHack Finals, and we're eager to see which team makes it out on top.
For the North American region, teams Astral Authority, Soar Gaming, and Obey Alliance swept their opponents in a 2-0 fashion.
Shout out to Obey Alliance, as that was their third 2-0 sweep, and it seems to be a lot to be invited to DreamHack Valencia.
Man, all these people traveling all these cool places.
I mean, we are going to E3.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I'll quit complaining. Yeah. You will be seeing us on the Xbox Daily Show next week from E3. So remember, all Smite roads are leading to the summer finals at DreamHack Valencia, where the PC players involved in the Smite Pro League and the console players involved in the Smite Console League get to have their own respective finals.
On the PC side, 8 teams will be competing for their share of a $150,000 prize pool, where the top 4 EU teams, the top 3 NA teams, and the top South American team get to face off in a single elimination bracket.
So to determine who these teams are, the Smite Pro League, which showcases match play every week on twitch.tv/highres, is following the Riot model of seasons, relegations, and one-off tournaments to keep you engaged and interacting with the content in the Smite Console League. Only 4 teams from a total of 10 will make it to the finals at DreamHack. And based on those standings, I think it'll be a tight battle to find out which teams will make it out.
I'm excited for more Smite, but I know that means we're going to have to talk more burritos, and I need to make sure I read over our producer scripts before I get left out in the cold like that.
Yeah.
We're just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, all right. So what was next? World of Tanks, Street Fighter, BAM 9, Forza, Counter-Strike.
And we are going to jump into some Forza. In the Forza Racing Championship Season 3, qualifying is now over, and we are on our way to France.
The final results and the finalists have been confirmed, so look out for this event next week when it all goes down.
Week 4 races wrapped up with Attacks Johnson taking top points in the EU, and Car Harmonic finishing the North American races with a perfect record.
3 drivers, F4H Diablo, Paul 9339, and ERS Hornet duked it out across qualifying for the 2nd position, so we'll be seeing them at the grand final.
The grand final is taking place just a week from now at the famed 24-hour of Le Mans in France, where the finalists will compete for a $100K prize pool and the chance to stand on the real Le Mans podium.
Which I think that's such a fantastic opportunity.
Could you imagine standing up there to play games? Tune into the Forza Racing Championship Season 3, the Porsche Cup Grand Final on June 17th and 18th, live here on Mixer.com. Whack Forza Motorsport from the 24-hour of Le Mans.
I feel like we need to get a //whack counter.
We should have a counter. How many times do we each get to say it?
Yeah,
We'll
I
start
like
fighting
it.
over who gets to say it.
Yeah, duking it out.
All right,
camera,
we are ready to
camera?
jump into our next segment. We're not going to do it out here, but off camera we will.
Oh, yeah.
You had choices of World of Tanks, Street Fighter, Heroes of the Storm, and Counter-Strike.
And we've got World of Tanks. In the world of Tanks, the 2017 Grand Finals just wrapped up recently in Moscow, Russia.
held at the VTB Ice Palace. Which, I don't know if I'm trying to go to an ice palace to play games. That's one travel I wouldn't do. 12 of the top teams and their tanks qualified for the $300,000 global tournament. I take it back.
NA teams like Elevate and Navi went head-to-head with European teams Ding and Kazna Crew alongside CIS teams Tornado Energy and Not So Serious.
Seeing as we are the NA region on this show, shout out to Elevate, the first North American team to make it to the Final Four out of a stacked lineup. The final match came down to Tornado Energy against Ding, we're going to call them, with a crazy dramatic 1v1 finish between players Apple and Wow and Breadnick. Apple Wow got the kill shot with 15 seconds on the clock and clinched the world championship and $150,000 for Team Tornado. Yes,
All
that's how I
right.
feel. That was for you, man. That was for you.
Okay, and then let's see.
We're ready to go on to our next segment.
Next segment. I'm excited. What
So
do we
there was
got?
Street Fighter, Heroes of the Storm, Counter-Strike, and we are going to jump. Oh, we finally get to talk about BAM 9 with Street Fighter. All right, let's do
Finally.
this.
All right.
So Australia's largest fighting game major, Battle Arena Melbourne, or otherwise known as BAM 9 as we've been saying, took place just a few short weeks ago, drawing in many of the top players from across the region. With no shortage of talent, the fighting was intense. The players in the top 8 were Zhan, Fudo, Bonchin, Forlorn, Oil King, Mego, Tokido, and Yuka. Oh, excuse me. I don't know how to say this one. Is it Yukidon?
I think so.
I want to say Yukidon. And
Mego and
it's
Yukidon
All
were
right.
knocked out early in, followed by Oil King and Jian.
In the losers semifinal, Forlorn went up against Echo Fox's Tokido.
Forlorn's consistent finishes have put him in the top 8 in 4 different events this season, 3 being premier events.
After losing the first round to Tokido and nearly losing the second, Forlorn managed to come back, earning him a place in the grand final.
In the winners final, 2 players from Japan, Bonchan and Fudo, went head-to-head.
You might be familiar with the name Bonchin, considering his recent first-place finishes at this year's Coliseum in Rome and Saigon Cup.
Bonchan struggled toward the end, but his strong start helped solidify a win against Fudo, sending him onward to the grand final against Forlorn.
These players' skills were closely matched, but in the end, Bonchin emerged victorious, making it his first premier event win of the season.
This win, comboed with his 2 additional first-place finishes in ranked events, put him at the #1 spot in Asia and the #2 spot in the global ranks.
Congrats again. That is a hell of a feat. Again,
Indeed.
Nothing that we're doing. Well,
Yeah.
I'll travel to go compete in these events. I'm not
Yeah.
taking home first place, and I'm not like #1 ranked anything.
I mean, I believe, if you put your mind to it, you can make it happen.
I'm
You can
glad
make
you
it happen.
believe.
Yep.
I believe that you believe.
Indeed. Okay. Oh, that I think was our last segment for catching you guys
Somebody's
up on
excited
esports.
that was our last segment. They're trying to get rid of us. That's what it is. That was you guys here. All right. Well, we are ready to talk about the upcoming tournaments that users can view, participate in, whatever you like.
So the Capcom Pro Tour online in North America, that's at capcomprotour.com.
Now, of course, there's CEO 2017, which is taking place end of next week in Orlando, and you can go to ceogaming.org to check out more on that.
And of course, DreamHack Summer 2017. Check out dreamhack.com for all those details.
I'm so glad that nobody had any slashes or wax because we made
None.
it through.
Yeah,
no more fighting between us.
And we have bonded over GIF.
Jeff, yes, definitely Jeff. Giraffe.
Yes.
Yeah, well, okay, Skippy too. Well, thank you so much for watching. We won't be back next week, believe it or not.
No show next week. It's going to be all E3 all week. I'm taking a break for E3, so we'll catch you at the regular time Thursday, 3 p.m. June 22nd.
I'm glad it's up there because I was going to be like, when do we come back in here?
June 22nd. Yeah. Be sure to follow at Mixer Channel 1 and at This Week in Esports on Twitter for more info and updates on the show and what's happening in the wide world of esports.
Thank you all so much. We'll see you later.